Since we're talking about assignment and arithmetic operators here, I thought I would take just a brief interlude to make a small program in cpp.sh. It's actually something you can see just by clicking on the cpp.sh / URL. You can see here on the Chapter 2 page in Eagle, what hopefully you'll be brought to is a small program in cpp.sh that I just wrote here. It is essentially what they're talking about in integer division on page 64 of your text, and it's just to highlight a couple of really quick things that you can do as far as formatting, how it is that you can actually address code, and how it is that you can actually output things as far as output to the user and as far as assignment in C++. So without further ado, here's just a little word on integer division. So first and foremost, you'll see on line number 8, I am doing what is known as a variable declaration. Line number 8 starts with int, the keyword int for integer. And what follows is a comma-separated list of integers that I am going to declare. So 1, 2, and 3 actually spelled out there, O-N-E, T-W-O-T-H-R-E-E. That line, number 8, is me declaring 3 integers, an integer called 1, an integer called 2, and an integer called 3. Lines number 9 and 10, I am assigning the value to those integers. So you can see 1 equals 5 on line number 9, and 2 equals 2, with apologies for that, guys, on line number 10. So this way, if I was to output O-N-E, so a cout statement for O-N-E, what you would find is the number 5 would be displayed there. If I was to output 2, T-W-O, through a cout statement, what you would see is the number 2 outputted there. On line number 3, I'm actually doing my arithmetic operation. I have 3, T-H-R-E-E. You'll notice I have a space there. Again, this is not necessary for the environment, but this is really necessary to you when you're going through and you're actually troubleshooting your code later on, and to me and any other developer that comes after you, so that I don't have to do a lot of work looking in between, variable names and assignment operators, etc. It's just easier if you put the space in there. And you'll notice then I have the variable names 1 divided by 2. So what that means is I'm taking those integers, the integer 1, which has the value 5 stored in it, and I'm dividing that by the integer 2, which has the value of 2 stored in that, and I'm taking the answer and I am assigning that to the integer 3, the variable, rather, integer 3. On lines number 13 and 14, you'll actually see the exact same thing happening here. On line number 13, what I'm doing is I'm outputting the value that is stored in the variable 3 on one line. You'll notice I have cout less than, so again that cout statement means out to the terminal, out to the program window. Less than is whatever follows that is going to be outputted. 3, so that's T-H-R-E-E, that is my variable. So whatever value is stored in that is going to be outputted to the terminal window. You'll notice I have 2 more less than, so less than, and then end line, E-N-D-L. That is going to tell the environment essentially to insert a new line character here for you. It is my suggestion to you that while you do not need the end line character, the end line statement there at the end of an out statement is to include it. It makes it easier for you to not outsmart yourself, to not say, well, I have a \n here and now I'm just going to continue with making statements inside of my cout. It's just easier for you. It's easier for me, it's easier for every other developer down the line to come here, look at this piece of code and say, okay, I know that after this particular line of code, the next output is going to come on the next line, so I don't have to work so hard, with mental gymnastics to figure out exactly how everything here is going to look. So that's what's happening there in line 13. In line 14, if I didn't want to have a third variable a third integer variable that I declare, I could actually output right there in the cout statement the value of math in line. So what you'll see there is, again, the cout statement, the less than, and then what's happening there in the parentheses is I am taking the value stored in integer variable 1, O-N-E, and I'm dividing that by the value of the stored variable TWO, and I'm outputting that. And then again, less than, that's the statement for cout, and then the end line so that I can actually be assured that my output, whatever it's going to be next, is going to come on the line under this. So if you go ahead and just run that, so again, that's the blue button in the lower right there, what you are going to see, if we wait here for it to compile for just a minute, is in that output window there on the bottom of the screen, the number 2, and then in a new line, the number 2 again. Integer division simply truncates. What is going to happen is 5 divided by 2, we all know, hopefully we all know, is 2.5, and when it's outputted, because the output there is an integer, it's simply going to truncate. It's going to remove that 0.5 from that assignment. As far as line 11 is concerned, the value stored in 3, THREE, is only 2. It is not 2.5. There is no way to recover that. There is no way to go back and recover that 0.5. So if we're looking at precise operations, this is a terrible way to go. But if we're looking at not having a third variable that I have to declare there, this is an easy way to go, is line number 14. I can simply do the math in my out statement, and away it'll go. So that's just a couple of concerns there to see. Again, you can just click on the link and you can see that little code snippet there, and you can just hit run and you can see the output from the code snippet there. So that is integer division. Try not to do it.